Cool. Welcome everybody to the Think and Grow Rich Mindset Ministry Mastermind. I'm Amber, your mindset ministress. I like that. I need long black hair so I can look like Elvira, mistress of the dark. And we are here studying the success principles of Napoleon Hill from the book Your Right to Be Rich. And we are on principle number 9 this week. It's self-discipline. We are very, very serious students of Napoleon Hill and success-driven entrepreneurs. And I'm just going to introduce our panel today. We have Aaron Riggs.
Good morning, everyone.
From California. We have Elvira Smith from Phoenix. Hakeem Alexander in LA, Hollywood.
Hello.
Markel from Chicago.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you guys here with us.
And Phil McGarvey from San Francisco, Mr. Brewski.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you've been following along with us for the past, 10 weeks or so, and gotten some really great value out of what we're sharing with you, and we're discovering it along the way. And if you are in the beginning stages of perhaps becoming an entrepreneur or starting your own business, or maybe you're trying to get your mindset, so you can be more successful in just your regular life, or if you have a job, maybe you want more success in your relationships, your financial positions, just your spirituality. So if that's something that you're looking at, then you're in the right place, and we're glad you're here. Mindset is the start of all success, and that's why we take this so seriously. So we're glad you're here with us. We're here every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time for about an hour, masterminding together, learning together as we grow. So please help us spread the word. If you know people that could benefit from our message, we'd love for you to share our videos with everybody that you know. So thank you so much. And we're going to get started today reading Principle 9, which is self-discipline. It says, direct your thoughts, control your emotions, and create a destiny of your own choosing. How cool is that? So I'm going to go to screen share, and the way that we format our Hangouts is we read the first few pages, and then we have a discussion, and then we read another section of it and have another discussion and wrap it up. And that takes about an hour. So we'll be breaking self-discipline probably up into 3 separate weeks. So you're going to have a lot of information on this one particular principle. So stick with us, and you can read along on screen share. It will pull up on the entire screen here. Give it 1 second. There we go. And this is from the Science of Success. This is the correspondence course that Napoleon Hill developed right before he died. It was the last thing he did, and he wanted us to be able to study this wonderful information from home. So that's what we're doing. It's from the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and it's accredited with the Napoleon Hill, what do you call it, curriculum. All right. Self-discipline. Direct your thoughts, control your emotions, and create a destiny of your own choosing. And one thing that self-discipline means basically is to take possession of your own mind. Ignore the things you don't want, focus on the things you do want, and how to develop control to think before you act. That's what our objective is here. That's what we want to learn by studying this principle. Alrighty. Before you begin the study of self-discipline, of the principle of self-discipline, we will outline 10 benefits that will accrue to you if you master this principle and put it in action. Your imagination will become more alert. Your enthusiasm will grow more keen. You will develop greater personal initiative. Your self-reliance will increase. Your ability to focus on your definite major purpose will expand. The scope of your vision will be widened, and you will see the world through different eyes. Excuse me. I'm not even drinking coffee, you guys. Your problems will dissolve. Your personality will become more magnetic. You will find people seeking you who had previously ignored or overlooked you. Your hopes and ambitions will be higher and stronger. Your faith will be more powerful. No other single requirement for individual success is as important as self-discipline. Self-discipline or self-control means taking possession of your mind. This has been mentioned repeatedly throughout the text. You are now at the point, I'm trying to turn the page, let's see here, hold on. I'm turning the page. Let's see here, hold on a sec. Technical difficulties. Wonder what's going on. Let me see, hold on. Let me go out of, hold on, let me just see here. Okay, let's try this again. You're now at the point of where you can tie together the other principles that you have studied and recognize the relationship that exists between them. All the principles of this system of self-management are for the express purpose of enabling you to develop control over yourself. The matter of self-discipline is one of the greatest of all essentials for success. Indeed, if you cannot master yourself, you have little hope of mastering anything or anyone else. If it were possible for you to master self-discipline after studying only this principle, the others could be eliminated. A study of human nature by the greatest minds in the world, from ancient Greek philosophers to the moderns, has proved that the most difficult lesson to learn is to know thyself. That is why there are 17 principles to excuse me. What? Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. I can't mute it either. I have to listen to me cough. All right, what is self-discipline? You are now studying the principle that has been referred to as the channel through which all your personal power for success must flow. The word channel, as used here, indicates a controlled passageway that funnels all the brooks or streams of power you have been mixing into one smooth river of great capacity. Your mind is the think tank, vat, or reservoir in which you have been creating and accumulating potential power. Now you are going to learn how to release that power in the precise quantities and in specific directions that will best accomplish your purposes. Through self-discipline, the power made available by the other principles of this system of self-management are concentrated and made ready for practical application to your daily affairs. Self-discipline and the mind. Some Eastern spiritual disciplines have likened the mind to a wild monkey out of control, bouncing around from one thing to another. Have you ever experienced your mind doing this? Probably so. This is because the mind, in its undisciplined state, moves around at will to entertain thoughts that come to it. You see, your mind is hooked up, you might say, to the mass consciousness. This is what Carl Jung called the collective consciousness. The mind is both a broadcasting station and a receiving station. You are constantly receiving thoughts. When you watch TV, read a paper, or listen to a conversation. You even receive them when you are close to someone emotionally. Have you ever heard twins talk about how they know what the other one is thinking? Have you ever thought about calling a close friend and suddenly the phone rings and that friend is on the line? These are examples of how the mind can receive thoughts. We have noted that the dominant consciousness on the planet is based in negativity and fear. This makes it supremely important that you discipline your mind. This is where self-discipline comes in. If you don't direct your mind to your major purpose, it will become subject to the whims of the mass consciousness. To use a comparison, you have been building an automobile to take you from where you are now to where you want to go. You have selected a definite major purpose based on a compelling motive, which is your steering wheel. You have adopted the strategy of going the extra mile, which assures you of the cooperation of other people and acts as a kind of transmission. You have actively and harmoniously associated yourself with certain other people through a mastermind alliance. That gives you kind of a chassis. You have learned how to receive the power of infinite intelligence and focus it upon the attainment of your objective by means of applied faith. This gives you a source of energy or fuel. You have the spark of a burning desire. Now you are learning to coordinate all of these units into a smoothly functioning automobile with an engine of unlimited power. By this time, you will agree that if you take possession of your own mind and use it, you can set the price tag on your services and make life pay you what you ask. You can see all around you those who fail to do this and who must therefore accept whatever life allocates. You will understand too why life often gives them little more than a bare existence. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts and your emotions. If you do not control your thoughts, you cannot control your deeds. Therefore, in its simplest form, self-discipline causes you to think first and act afterward. Almost everyone automatically does the exact reverse. People generally act first and think later, unless they take possession of their minds and control their thoughts and deeds through self-discipline. Control of the emotions. Self-discipline will give you control over 14 major emotions listed below. 7 of these are positive and 7 are negative. The positive ones are love, sex, hope, faith, enthusiasm, desire, and loyalty. The negative emotions are fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, anger, and superstition. All of these emotions are states of mind and are therefore subject to your control and direction. You can see instantly how dangerous the 7 negative emotions can be if they are not mastered. The 7 positive emotions can be destructive too if they are not organized and released under your complete conscious control. Wrapped up in these 14 emotions is power of a truly explosive nature. If you regulate it properly, it can lift you to heights of distinguished achievement. But if you permit it to run rampant, it can dash you to pieces on the rocks of failure. You should realize that your education, your experience, your native intelligence, and your good intentions cannot alter or modify these possibilities. The mass consciousness comes to us through the subconscious mind. We are essentially connected to everyone else through this mechanism. The problem most people have is when they think a thought or have an emotion, they identify with it and make it theirs. Just because you have a thought or an emotion doesn't mean you have to entertain or act on it. Everyone who tries something new has thoughts of failure or feelings of fear. This is natural. However, high achievers refuse to allow negative emotions to keep them from action. They refuse to allow thoughts or emotions to stop them from the pursuit of their definite major purpose. When fear, a self-limiting belief, enters your mind, just say to your mind, "Thank you for sharing that thought with me." Then just do the thing that causes fear anyway. We have learned in previous principle that a definite major purpose, activated by a driving motive, is the starting point of all worthwhile achievement. The motive must be so strong that it will force you to subordinate all your thoughts and efforts to the attainment of your definite major purpose. This drive must also be subject to the control of your own good judgment, so that your enthusiasm and desire will not run away with your wisdom. In other words, you must discipline yourself so that your drive is always under control and directed toward living out your definite major purpose and accomplishing your goals. Okay, we'll stop here for now. Good stuff. Let's see here. Get off the screen share. And we're back. So yeah, this is really good deep stuff. This is why I love it. When we get down into it further, there's a little diagram about the subconscious. I just love studying the mind. You know, I've always been fascinated with it. I don't know about, you guys probably have too, I'm sure. We wouldn't all be here together. But getting control of our own thoughts and not being a victim of our thoughts, I love that. And so, okay, so, last week I was telling you guys I had that speaking engagement, right, with Dave. He was here. I mean, we weren't together on the stage, but it was a big deal. And, I was consumed by it for like 4 months. My mind was playing it over and over and over and over. I just couldn't stop it, and I would try to stop the rehearsal going on in my mind. That took a lot of self-discipline, actually, mental self-discipline. And and I don't know if I guess I achieved it by having to deal with it for so long, But so last Friday night was the night, and I actually was going on at like 8 o'clock, I think. So I was with Dave and Aaron. We were just hanging out, and then everybody went and got ready and had dinner. And all of a sudden, like an hour before I was supposed to go on, my nerves, physically got so nervous and started to get really emotional. And we all had trailers, we had our own trailers. And so I went to my trailer, and I was there by myself, and I started crying. I don't know what happened to me, but I started crying, and I got really scared because, I knew some people were judging me, of course, and I'm judging myself even more. And I just got really scared and consumed. So I called up, my sponsor and some friends, and they all came over to my trailer, and we prayed and talked, and it really helped. And then they all left, and I had to get ready. I put my makeup on, and I had my headphones on, listening to, my music, and Poison, of course, came on my headphones. But I was looking in the mirror, putting my makeup on, listening to my music, and tears were streaming down my face, But I was looking at myself like, the fear was gone, though, actually, after I prayed with my friends. But just the, remembering where I was compared to where I was now, like I was, a hopeless person, ready to drive off the side of the road, 11 years ago, to crash my car into the ocean. And then here I was getting ready to go on stage to inspire, 500, 600, 700 people. I don't really know how many were there Friday night, but so I really had to do a lot of getting control of my thoughts. And then it was cool afterwards. I went over to Dave's trailer and sat on the porch with him and Aaron, and he gave me some good advice or whatever. We talked for a little while, and then when I went on stage, they were in the front row, which is really cool. And all my friends were in the front row. All I could see was all my friends. Everybody else was dark. And anyways, I did something that was like so fearful. I mean, I had like a mental breakdown right before, but I had to really get control of my thoughts and go do. And that's why I accepted the challenge in the first place. I knew it was going to be probably one of the hardest things I'd ever was going to do, and it was going to be scary. But that's why I said yes, because that's what we grow from, doing things like that, just facing the things that scare us anyways, that cause the fear. I guess that's what courage is. So that was my experience with getting control of my thoughts, or not getting control of them and then gaining control back. Sometimes that's how we learn. Usually that's how we learn. We usually learn by going to the default and realizing how painful it is, and then we can go to the other side of it and work through it. So I'm interested to hear what you guys got out of that first section, or what experiences you're having here. So who wants to go first? Aaron. Okay, I see Aaron's hand.
You got audio today for me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, awesome. Just that little part about how the social conscious, or what was it, how the group consciousness kind of leaks into us. I kind of really experienced that this week. Kind of in all my experience this week, thinking about this week's topic and applying the self-control thing, I realized that, yeah, you're getting bombarded with everyone's emotions. And you kind of have to get that self-control to where you realize that, okay, that's their person, that's their emotion. I have the self-control to, keep my positive mental attitude. And as a conscious decision, we went out, just out on the town this weekend we went to the beach and went out for lunch and stuff. And there's, people that just came at us with just negativity, negative emotion. And we were able to just, kind of not let it get to us and actually help that other person find some positivity, just through that self-discipline, and what you touched on in this chapter about how that group consciousness, you around someone with a bad attitude and a negative, it can rub off on you if you don't have that self-discipline to realize, hey, yeah, they're going through that, but I'm going to be in control of myself. So yeah, I really think that this week I've seen a lot of it everywhere I went.
Yeah, cool, Aaron. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the group conscious. That's a scary step. You have control of your mind, you know. End up a victim of everybody else's thoughts. And we don't like the word victim, that's for sure, in this group. All right, Elvire, you're on.
All right, I'm going to be kicked out of my computer in a moment. I can't stop the process. It needs to so if I'm gone, I'm gone. I'll be back in. You know what? I think it's such a blessing to have discovered this material, because before that, and before I started with you know, studying with some of the people who really changed my life, which in the beginning, really in the very beginning, was Tony Robbins, and after that, after a long time, it was Bob Proctor. And you know, really, my thoughts were rampant, and my emotions were just rampant all over. And I don't know, there's this little thing, you know, about astrology, and so I'm a Scorpio, and a Scorpio is always like up and down, you know, like being positive, being negative, being positive, being negative, and my mother would always tease me with that. And basically what it really was is I was not able to control my emotions whatsoever. So if something positive came up, or if I did see something positive or something that I liked, I was just like, yoo, like that. And when something negative would come along, or if I didn't get my way, or I didn't get whatever.
Oh, there she goes. All right, we're going to get Elvire back. We're going to move on to Hakeem. Hakeem, are you ready?
Hey, yeah. Good morning. Thanks for having me again. This is just incredible. Self-discipline. Oh boy. Someday I'm going to be able to tell some stories about this, getting on this call and doing this stuff. I was out, you know, hosting a party till 2 a.m. and I decided to go to this 24-hour Starbucks that's over by UCLA, the University of California, Los Angeles. And I stayed up because I'm actually outside on the corner of a street called Canoga and Roscoe Boulevard, waiting for a friend to pick me up because we're going to a crazy heavy metal concert. So I didn't go to sleep, but I, you know, don't feel bad. I'm not saying this is like some kind of, you know, like anybody needs to feel bad for me that I haven't slept yet or anything like that. It's just a choice that I made because I wanted to do some stuff and write and study and things like that. But and I didn't remember, you know, because once I'm not on the call, I kind of put it out of my mind, you know, what the next subject is going to be. And it's just so appropriate that this one is self-discipline, because I was thinking to myself, man, I was like, this is going to be a tough one. I was like, am I going to be able to make it? I was like, I really, really want to be on this hangout. I really want to be there, but I was like, is this a good idea? I was like, is this going to happen? I was like, you know, am I going to, you know, be able to do this? Is my friend going to show up? I'm going to jump in his car. They're going to be all noisy. We're going to be driving to this place. I'm going to be outside somewhere waiting for him. And I just thought, you know, I just really want to be, and I love being here, and I know that a lot of people, whoever is going to be able to watch this, everybody on the panel, and especially me, is going to get some value out of it, because we always have a really great time here, and a lot of really amazing things come out. And so I said, you know what, whatever it takes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be there, you know, here I am. And so just personally, just that self-discipline, just that feeling, you know, when you really have that self-discipline, it's almost like an addiction, where I felt like there's no way that I could not be here. You know, it's just like, it was just like, how, you know, how could I not? You know, that's the only way I could describe it, is that it almost felt as necessary as eating to me, when you know that you're dedicated to something. And so self-discipline kicks in, and that really really is something that it's very powerful, because sometimes that self-discipline in a very good way, it just takes over everything that you're doing and gets you to stick to the commitments that you make. You know, this is not mandatory, but I made a commitment to be here and to be part of this panel, and it's, you know, I'm thrilled that, you know, how it all works out, how your mind just drives you to be able to do so. I hope that you guys get that a little bit, where I'm coming from with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
You're making
yeah,
me great. Oh, go ahead.
what's that? Oh no,
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say thank you. You know, I'm here, and it's awesome. It's amazing. Thank you.
It's just not the same when everybody's not here. You know, it always makes everyone. So thank you for being here. Peter, I think you need to mute yourself, or you have. It sounds like you have a second screen open. I think somebody does. Not Peter, Phil, maybe, or Aaron. So listen, yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we get to ride in the car with your friends, doing some headbanging. Yeah, but you're also making me rethink about, because I was going to take a week off the weekend that we're in New Orleans, you know, because I don't have the Google Plus thing on my laptop, and I get the spinning wheel. Every time I pick up my laptop, all I do is sit there and watch the wheel spin. But maybe I'll take it with me and try to do it. I do it on my phone. We could do like a half-hour hangout or something, all of us together on that Saturday, even if I don't have the worksheets with the workbook with me. So I'll work on getting that. So thanks for the motivation on there. And all right, Markel, how's it going?
It's going great, actually. You know, good morning, first of all, everybody. You know, I'm just grateful to be here, and going over this information it's like it's real refreshing for me, because, you know, I thought I was always controlling my thoughts. You know, I thought I was the person in charge of the thinking around here, but what I'm coming to understand is that, you know, it's easy to drift around, and it's easy to get off track. Just like he was saying, you know, we got no problem domesticating animals and training them, but when it comes to the mind, we just let it run wild, just jumping from thought to thought. And we pick up off of other people's vibrations. And since we are vibrational, you know, it's easy to pick up on that energy, because we are energy. So when you got all of these other people around you, what's it called, the mass consciousness, when there's so many other people around you and they not in harmony with what you thinking or what you trying to do, then you feel that. I know I do nowadays, now that I'm consciously aware that I do have control over my thoughts. So when you pick up on somebody else's negativity, you got two choices. You can stay or you can get away from that. And most people stay, and they try to stop another person from having a certain thought, but you can't do that, because they in a mass consciousness as well, and they might not even know that they got control over their thoughts. So they just thinking whatever going on around them, or what they see right in front of them, they letting that dictate their next thought. But once you know you got complete control of it, you can think whatever you want to think on purpose, deliberately. You can it's funny now, but it was a point in time where I thought, you know, like I said, I thought I was always thinking, and I'm fortunate right now because I'm 24, and unfortunately, it's not too many people in my age group that's even trying to participate in something like this. They think they got all the answers already, but once you find out how much you drifting, and especially people who don't have a definite purpose, people that don't have an aim in life, you know, like the book said, if you don't know what you want, you're going to get just that. So you got to have a purpose, a plan, a goal at least. Have something that you moving towards so you won't get caught up in the masses. And that's what I'm going to say right now.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I know, to be 24 years old and on this path, Markel, is just amazing. I mean, when I was doing when I was 24, it wasn't, and I was a victim of the wild monkey mind, you know?
Yes.
That's for sure. And I was like that up until I was like 36 almost, you know? I remember my mind was always like a wild monkey in there. And also you know, I think what happens, like, you know, those thoughts come in, and for so many years, you know, I had all these terrible thoughts in my head, And like instead of there, I identified with them. I actually thought that those thoughts were me, you know? So I felt so like devalued as a human being and so identified with all the negativity that that's all I could, you know, I was living in that. And it wasn't until, you know, getting clean and then doing a lot of work on myself, and this plays right into it, where we create awareness and we create space between our monkey mind of insanity and our subconscious mind, and we can start, like Eckhart Tolle says, you know, we can start observing and watching our thoughts, you know, and we become less identified. We disassociate from our thoughts, like we can watch them on the screen in our mind, and we're really our higher self, you know, watching those thoughts. And that's what a spiritual awakening is. That's what awareness is, you know, a higher consciousness. And that's what we're doing here. And but getting that space between the thoughts is the hard part. But the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, was the first book that ever really got me going on that. And I highly recommend that if anybody's like too associated, or if you're identified with your thoughts and you don't have the space, if you don't know what I'm talking about, read that book and it'll really help, you know. And that's where I started to get on the road to mastering my mind, you know. So I see Elvire made it back. Elvire, did you finish? You want to keep finish up? No, we can't hear you.
Probably still booting up.
Okay, well, we're gonna give you time to finish booting up. We'll go to Phil. Hi, Phil.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning. Just a few kind of random thoughts. As far as being successful is concerned, I used to think it was 80% mindset and 20% skill set. I've reevaluated that now. To me, it's closer to 90, if not 95% mindset and perhaps 5% skill set. The whole idea of self-discipline is, I'm amazed when I just look at the amount of work and self-discipline that Napoleon Hill exhibits just in everything that he's produced. I mean, it's just amazing when you think about it. When I was going through the self-confidence formula this morning, all the steps that he asks you to do. I mean, he's an incredible example of this. And I think the whole concept of self-confidence and everything that Hill was really talking about is related to the concept of power, and that's how I see it. Self-power, which is actually what you touched on, Amber. It's a kind of awareness, with the whole idea of mastering yourself and your mind first. You mentioned Socrates earlier. Socrates has a wonderful saying that the unexamined life is not worth living. And again, that's a very powerful statement. So that's how I see it. I see it within the power context, and again, just amazed at this man's ability and just the discipline that he exhibits in everything that he's done. That's it.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, I don't know who Napoleon Hill was channeling when he came out, you know, for 20 years, but it's amazing stuff. I'm so grateful for it. You know, it's so life-changing. So life-changing. So we'll go to screen share again and finish up with our second half of reading, if that's okay with everybody. Hopefully I won't lose my voice. Okay. Oh, Elvire, we can't hear you.
Try to mute yourself and then unmute yourself. Maybe that might work.
I hear somebody's noise, but it's not Elvire. Elvire, say something. No. No, keep trying. I'm going to read, and then, you know, just keep texting it, and then we'll go to you first when we come back. So hold on a second. Let's see. Okay. So we are on where it says self-discipline is a matter of adopting constructive habits, right? Okay. Self-discipline entails the complete mastery of both your thought habits and your physical habits. When you have gained control over your thought habits, you know what? I can hear somebody's feedback, so make sure you guys are muted. When you have gained control over your thought habits, control over your physical habits will be almost automatic, and you will be well on the road to attainment of complete self-discipline. Definite motives are the beginning of thought habits, and you will not find it difficult to keep your mind concentrated on your real motive once it becomes an obsession. The important fact to remember is that self-discipline calls for a balancing of the emotions of your heart with the reasoning faculty of your mind. This means that you must learn to consult both your feelings and your reason in reaching a decision concerning every circumstance of your life. Sometimes you will find it necessary to set aside your emotions entirely and follow the dictates of your reason. Other times, you will decide in favor of your emotions, modified by the advice of reason. Try to find the happy medium between the two, between too much and too little of either influence. The ideal is to achieve and maintain a proper balance between the faculties of reason and emotion. This is the highest form of self-discipline. You may wonder if perhaps it would not be safer and wiser to control your life entirely on the basis of reason and leave emotion out of your decisions and plans. The answer to this question is no. It would be very unwise even if it were possible. The emotions provide the driving power, the activating force, which enables one to put the decisions of reason into action. The emotions are a source of our greatest power. If you destroy hope and faith, what would there be left to live for? If you kill enthusiasm and the desire for achievement, but still retain the faculty of reason, what good will it be? The mind will still be there to direct, but what will it direct? This point cannot be overstressed. Both the rational mind and the emotional capacity are critical in success. You cannot make good decisions if you just use your mind. Many successful business people will not admit that their gut feeling, their intuition, their emotional capacity is essential in making good decisions. In our Western culture, we have raised rational thought to a very high status, denigrating in the process our emotional side. We have done this at a great cost. Reason, balanced with emotional perception, is the way to quality decisions. Your emotions, as stated above, are the seat of great power. Why? Because emotions are the mechanism through which infinite intelligence has access to us. Through applied faith, infinite intelligence can advise us on the correct course of action, but the mind, cut off from this access, operates by itself and cannot reap the great intelligence available to us. In this separate state, the mind cannot see the interconnectedness of all things. When you learn to trust your intuition, you tap into the organizing power of the universe. However, emotion without reason is equally destructive. Raw emotion, triggered by events, can drive us to do unwise things. The proper procedure is to control and discipline your emotions, not eliminate them. Besides, it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to eliminate your emotional attributes. Emotions are somewhat like a river, because their power can be dammed up and released under control and direction, but cannot be eliminated. Through self-discipline, you can organize all your emotional power and cause it to flow in a highly concentrated course. You can control in the direction you select toward your attainment of your definite major purpose in life, but you must direct your emotional power somewhere. Repressed emotions are dangerous. They can cause debilitating diseases and unpleasant outbursts or reactions. Learn to channel this raw power in the service of your definite major purpose and goals. Self-discipline is the tool with which you can harness and direct your inborn emotions in the direction of your choice. Let me go a little bit of this, just because it's still on the same topic. That's okay. So far, we have focused mainly on the positive emotions. You should know that the negative emotions can likewise be controlled and transmuted into a constructive driving force. Self-discipline can remove the harmful elements from negative emotions and make them serve a useful purpose. Sometimes fear and anger will inspire intense action. All actions arising from negative emotional impulses should have the modifying influence of the mind, so they will be guided properly. Balancing the heart and the mind. This looks important, so we'll read this. You should submit both the negative and positive emotions to the examination of the reasoning faculty before releasing them. The major function of self-discipline is to maintain proper balance between judgment of the mind and the sentiments of the heart. Emotion without reason is our greatest enemy. Another very important idea regarding this balance of power between the mind and the heart concerns the willpower or ego, which will be discussed later in this principle. The willpower should be the final judge of any particular situation or circumstance. It has the final word in whether reason or emotion should be permitted to exert the greater influence in every given situation. Self-discipline should include an arrangement by which the conscious mind or willpower can throw its weight on the side of emotion or reason and amplify the intensity of its expression. Both the mind and the heart need a master, and they can find such a master in the faculty of the willpower. The ego, acting through the will, becomes the presiding judge only for the person who has deliberately trained the ego for the job through the use of self-discipline. In the absence of self-discipline, the ego attends to its own business and lets the mind and heart fight out their battles as they please. In this situation, the person within whose mind the fight is carried on often gets badly hurt. It is because of this inward conflict, which goes on without a referee, that many people have problems they are unable to solve, which send them running to psychiatrists. This conflict is one of the basic causes of the alarming incidence of neurosis in our culture today. It has become more acute as civilization has evolved, because the situations faced by people today are infinitely more complex than those of past generations. In other words, as our culture becomes more complex, the need for self-discipline becomes greater. Ignorance of how to proceed to take control of the mind and emotions causes the average person to be unwilling to develop self-discipline. Says the average person, these two potent forces, says the average person allows these two potent forces to tear the mind apart. To the burdens of an undirected, failure-conscious mind are then added the trials of mental illness. You can choose another destiny. We'll stop there. Woo! That's pretty intense stuff. Let's see here. Everybody still there? So, yeah, when we were reading this, I can hear somebody's feedback. We have the second channel on.
Is that me? I just unmuted.
Yeah. Close out your Facebook channel probably, or your second channel, whatever that is. When I was reading this, I was thinking about all the people that are on antidepressants and medication. I actually never ended up on any medication, believe it or not, even though I was, slowly committing suicide and lost the power to do anything about it. But once I actually got clean and started working on my mind, people that are in the throes of addiction and mental illness and stuff like that don't realize that it's the mind that's causing all of that. People are just numbing because we didn't want to feel our emotions. We couldn't figure out how to, make peace between the mind and the heart, just like it was saying. And I think so many people go to medication, so that they don't, because I guess they don't really know that they can do the work. And I work with women, in recovery and with this stuff here. And I try to tell them, that even if they've been on medication for a really long time, I always say, give this some time and really work on your mind. And I guarantee you, when you get through this process, you probably won't need that medication. I think people just get dependent on it out of fear, But because for me, I went from someone wanting to drive their car into the ocean or a telephone pole, to how I am now. And all that I've done is, well, stopped using drugs, of course, and, you know, or any mood or mind altering substance, and then done the work on gaining mastery over my mind and creating that spiritual awareness, and you know, getting I guess a spiritual awakening. So anyways, we have, you know, about 15 minutes left, so let's get to everybody. Elvira, can we hear you yet?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Yoo-hoo, yeah, I went back out again and back in again. You just never know. So, you know, it's the emotions that we allow to run rampant, and what you just said, Amber, is, you know, for the medications, for the depressants and all that sort of stuff. I've had, we all have, maybe, at least I've had some depressions from time to time, because I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what I was worth, and I didn't know, you know, how to go and what to create in my life. And so, indeed, the basis is, you know, having a major definite goal in life. You know, where are you taking the skills that you have, even though you don't realize that you have them? And it's that it's so much combined. It's amazing when I look at it now, pulling myself out of it. You know, it's that little negative voice that tells you, you can't do that. You get a beautiful idea, and nah, you can't do that. So it's almost impossible to go the route alone, because you need your cheerleaders. You know, when you have an idea and you have like 2 people, or maybe just 1 person who cheers you on and says, like, go for it, that's a great one, even when you get a dip. And if you don't have that, the pills and the potions are the easiest way, because it's also, don't forget, it's a manipulative tool. You know, once you're hooked on the drugs, you want more and more and more. And Amber, you know that, and many of us know that, and you can be manipulated. So it is this, as you said before, this work, all of this work that Napoleon Hill has written down is so powerful for creating a healthy life, healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in relationships, healthy in your connection to the universe. It is, but you know, here's the thing: it takes work, hard work, and this is where most people and Wallace Wattles says it also, that thinking, which is going within, being quiet, no music, no distractions, no television, being with yourself, being your very best friend, loving yourself, and going deep in the pain sometimes, is the hardest work there is. However, if you want to live a healthy life, and if you don't want to have any crap, and you want to feel free within yourself, you've got to do the work. And a pill is so easy, a potion is so easy, a shot is so easy. Yet at the end of your life, I do believe that when you look back, you're totally filled with regrets that you did not have the guts to stand up to yourself and take control of yourself. Come up with that self-discipline through the tears, through the pain, through the screaming to the sky, and say, like, I am going to take control of my mind, because I am in control of my life. And trust me, I sometimes still get to tears, and it's okay, because I know that I can do it, and I am doing it. And if I can do it, I am nobody special. Just diligently do the work every free time. Just listen to the good stuff, read the good book, turn off the television. Sure, if you have one favorite show, I do, the Sharks on Friday night last night. Yoo-hoo, 2 hours. That's my favorite show. That's all I watch. But just do it, and find somebody who wants to go with you that route, hold your hand and cheer you on, and you cheer that person on. I mean, and when 2 are together, it's like a third mind set in. It's, you know, it can be so simple and so basic, but never beat yourself up. Just go through it and do it, and be the example. Back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Elvira. Well, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, we just have to go through it, you know. The only way through it is through it. And when we numb our minds with medication or drugs, you know, we're just putting a little slapping a Band-Aid on it, you know. And that's why self-discipline is so important, you know, to get through this hard work, but it is so worth it. Like you know, for me with like using drugs or alcohol or whatever, I don't do that today because I choose not to, because I don't want to lose 1 ounce of the sanity, the serenity in my mind, the conscious contact I have with infinite intelligence, my mind control that I have going on, the space between my conscious and subconscious mind. I don't want to mess with that at all. It's like a computer board, and to throw any of that on there, it short circuits everything, and it's flowing so smoothly now. It's like I don't want to short circuit. I won't even eat dessert with alcohol in it because I don't want to zap one little thing in my brain, and short circuit anything. So because I'm so grateful for how I feel today, how far I've come. So let's see, Hakeem, do you want to talk? I see you're in the car, and I know you have people there. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? Okay, cool.
Yes.
You're on, brother.
Yeah, well, yeah, Amber, thank you very much. Yeah, I am in the car right now with these guys. We're on our way to the show here. I got the ticket. It's
Who the for? Well, who's playing?
some crazy bands. We Came as Romans, Coma Prevails, Murder, Death, Kill, Reformers and Leaders, Freya, and more. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just some really interesting things about this happened to me when I went to the Hypnosis Motivation Institute in Tarzana, California, where the most interesting thing, and this is relevant to the self-discipline call that we're talking about tonight or today, that I would have the most interesting phenomena happen that I would, for example, we had this 401 class where we watched videos and then we had to write an essay on the video. And the thing about it was that the videos, we got them at random in no particular order. There was like 1 through 82. And the reason why we didn't get them in any particular order is because there were only a limited number of them, so they would just give them to the students, first come, first serve. And I would get a video, for example, on something like relationship strategies or on hypnosis and anger or whatever, and then the very next day I would have that class. The instructor would be giving the class subject. Or the reverse would happen. I would have the class on something and then go pick up a video at random, and then the video would be on the subject I just had the class about. And that's what's been happening every single week with these hangouts for the Think and Grow Rich Mindset, is that I've been faced with a different situation where I have to put into practice what we're going to be speaking about on the hangout. And I think it's one of the most amazing things. And then another thing that just happened was the Hypnosis Motivation Institute just released a new documentary series called Hypnotized, and the subject is called Hypnosis and Chronic Pain. Was the first episode, and how that directly relates to this is something that we're just talking about the mental illness developing. They were in the video, the director of the school, George Kappas, and the hypnotist who was on there featured, who was delivering the chronic pain hypnotherapy, named his name will come to me in a second. I had him as an instructor, really great guy. But they were talking about a doctor named Sarno in New York City, who he found that when people had certain emotions in their body, it would cause tension in their body that would constrict their nerves and cause pain in their body. And so it's not something that's just all in your mind. Your mind actually causes, as we know, physical changes in your body. Like, if you see a really attractive person, maybe your heart beats a little bit faster, or your body temperature raises, or the same thing, you get angry with somebody or whatever. Your emotions and the way that you think actually causes physical changes in your body. And it was interesting that they actually went over that in this Hypnosis and Chronic Pain documentary. And here now we have Napoleon Hill talking about how mental illness can be caused, of course, by the way that we think in our certain mindset. And I think that it ties in really great with this whole subject about self-discipline, because if we do not discipline ourselves and our emotions, it can definitely cause us to have lots of different abnormal psychological states, because our emotions definitely affect the not only the way that we think, our thoughts and our mind, but also it definitely has a direct effect on our physical body. So I hope that you know, I was able to tie in all of those different things that were happening pretty well. Did everybody, you guys all able to follow along with that pretty well?
Got it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hakeem, Hakeem, it's definitely the other way around. I mean, I told you about my friend who's a doctor in metaphysics, who's been doing this for 37 years. Everything in your body is the result of what goes on in the mind. So if you have pain in your body, if you have pain in your, wherever you have the pain, something, eruptions on the skin, even acne is an expression of what is going wrong or is not functioning in harmony of who you desire to be in your life. You should welcome the pains in your body because it is telling you what you need to look at in your mind. And as I said before, it's the booklet. It's the booklet that's helping you every time. You have to tie the things together. The left side of the body, the right side of the body. I am so passionate about this because your body is an expression of the mind. That's all it is. It's a vehicle for the mind, and it expresses the misery that goes on in your mind.
You know what? Speaking of mind, my marketing mind is telling me, Elvira, that you should set up some type of affiliate program with that book. You love that book. That thing is so amazing how passionate you are about it. You need to cash in on your passion.
Well, I am going to write a book. I asked just in 30 seconds, this week I asked God, give me one idea because I feel stuck. Give me one idea. The next morning he came back to me and said, you need to write a book. I said, great. I said, what's the title? And he said, Thinning Hair and the Law of Attraction with question marks. And I go like, really? He said yes, because for years I have been looking for a way to reach women about this whole thing. And yes, you can say that, but you know what? I have lost 50% of my hair because I still haven't stepped into my power, because all I want to do is teach this material to mostly women. I love men, but to mostly women. And this is now what I'm going to be doing, and I'm so grateful. It's insane. And yesterday I got the cover of the book, and I have the program to write the book. So I'm on my way, and in September I'm going to the Netherlands to a school reunion, which is only girls, and I'm going to take my book and I'm going to hand it out.
Awesome.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Wow.
That's great. That's great. And we all want copies over here. We'll buy them from you.
I wanted to add a little something real quick because I have several injuries, and you know, a chronic pain is a situation that I deal with daily. But you know, I just have to say, Elvira really nailed it. You know, when my emotions are getting the better of me, you know, those old injuries really start flaring up and acting up. Yet if I'm in, you know, a good positive mental and emotional state, it doesn't bother me as much. You know, I just think you really nailed it on the head there, Elvira.
But even, you know, here's the thing, it goes even further. Even when you break your leg, even when you cut yourself, you burn yourself when you're cooking or whatever, that is all from the mind to create an expression, to do something, to get your attention.
Yeah, sometimes we're not present, too. We're not being mindful, you know, and present in the moment. Lots of times cutting our hand or burning it or something like that will happen, and it just wakes us up to say, all right, be more mindful with what we're doing here, you know, focus, present.
Pamper yourself, $6.95. $6.95.
I tell you.
Marketing.
You seriously got to get on that.
Funny.
Wow. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
I'm going to mute myself out here just for a second. Let you close out.
Okay. I do want to, one thing that Hakeem mentioned too, though, was about how he's experiencing things during the week that are applied to the principle that we're studying. And I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago I mentioned that. I said, you know, now keep an eye out for your week and to see what you're experiencing, because the universe will work you and create experiences in your life that you can apply to the principle that we're studying. And that's God's little wink at us to see, or our infinite intelligence to know that, it's all working in harmony together. So I love when that happens, and it always happens, Hakeem. So I totally identified with what you were saying about that. So well, we're getting close to the end here. We have Markel over there.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that just gave me chill bumps, because literally, like last week, I was having real bad migraines, and it was crazy because I had took a pain pill for it, and when I took the pain pill, my head started hurting even worse. It started hurting worse, so I meditated on it, because, of course, I remember what Alvera was saying about it comes from your mind, and it's true. And once I identified that pain, I looked at it, I grabbed it, and I just was like, you know what? I got complete control over this. Let me bring my awareness to it, and let me ask for it to be healed. And I believed it. So like 2 minutes later, my body reacted immediately. And to this day, I have not had a migraine ever since then. And like Hakeem was saying, when you have a thought, your body responds to it emotionally, and you'll either feel good about it or you'll feel bad about it. And you should know the different type of thoughts that you have by the emotions that you feel behind it. And I got this little quote in my journal. I don't know who I got it from, because I do so much personal development. I don't even know who I got it from, but it says that any thought pattern or attitude that is continuously allowed room in your being will become a habit. Any habit can then become an addiction. So that's negative thinking, that's fear, that's anything, literally anything. The more you do it, the more your body reacts to it, and the more your body, well, your mind, I should say, the more your mind accepts that as being true. And you can deliberately train your mind. That's the most part that I love about this, is that you can do it deliberately. You can choose exactly what you want to happen, but you got to have self-discipline, and that's why we're doing this hangout right now. And I'm just enjoying it. I'm grateful to be here, and that's what I got. Back to you, Em.
Nothing happens. You created, Markel. Do you know what migraine headaches are? It's resisting the flow of life, dislike of being driven, and headaches. Yes. Headaches are self-criticism and fear. You got to understand, when you get headaches, your blood vessels are restricted. Mm-hmm. Your body is screaming for oxygen. Your brain is screaming for oxygen, but your mind restricts it out of fear. What do we do with fear? With fear, we don't stand like this. With fear, we go this. We ball up, right? That's what it is. Get the book. Go out today. Read it.
I'm definitely going to get that book. Definitely. You got a lot of enthusiasm behind that, so I'm going to definitely pick that up, because you're right about that, and I can't deny it.
Right. No, and I told you guys about when I healed my foot, too. The bottom of my foot was hurting for some reason. I have no idea why. And I said, man, my subconscious mind, heal my foot right now. And it did, and it's been healed ever since, which is, it comes and goes a little, and then I'll do it again, and then it goes away. And I was going to say something that Markel was talking about. It seemed so important at the time, but I forgot what it was, because we were talking about headaches. But maybe it'll come back to me. But I started getting
what foot problems are, Amber. Foot problems, the fear of the future and not stepping forward in life. Which foot was it? Which foot?
Left foot.
The left foot, that's your mother. So there are issues that you have taken on from your mother that prevents you stepping into your future, stepping forward. Hello?
Oh my God, that couldn't even be more true. I'm running her business, the family business first. That's crazy. Oh my God, that is so true. I thought it was just because my subconscious mind didn't want me to exercise.
No, and again, no. Your body is your vehicle. Treat it well, but listen to your body. Listen to it and do the work. Do the work. Go inward and figure it out. Get the guideline.
Okay, for sure.
I'm definitely getting that book.
I know the pharmaceutical world hates me about that, and my friend as well. They hate me.
That's funny.
Are you going to put a link to that in the chat?
It's called Heal Your Body. Just Google it.
It's so easy. It's heal your body.
Here, I'll type it. All right, Phil. Are you there, buddy?
I sure am. Just wanted to remind Hakeem that there are no accidents. And Elvire, I want an autographed copy of your book when it comes out.
Oh, all of you get that. Don't worry.
And just express my gratitude for being here. I'm grateful, thankful for all of you and the insights we shared. And it's a wonderful experience just being here. Just being here.
Mm-hmm.
Being the key word.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, we had a great hangout. It's time for us to end the broadcast so we can stay on time and keep our audience. And we want to thank all the viewers for watching. Thanks for tuning in with us every week. We hope you got some value out of this. And if you have any questions or want to contact anybody on this panel, just look us up on Facebook. Most of our names are here. We can direct you to each other. We'd love to help you and guide you and mentor you in your gaining control over your mind. So thanks a lot for being here, and we'll see you guys next week on the Think and Grow Rich Mindset Ministry Mastermind. So bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.